From Wednesday, June 7 to Thursday, June 8, 2017, Malawi hosted the second Southern Africa TB and Health Systems Support Project Regional Advisory Committee RAC meeting. The second RAC meeting followed the launch of the project in Maputo, Mozambique, where the first meeting took place in December 2016. The Southern Africa TB and Health Systems Support Project is a World Bank-funded project aimed at improving coverage and quality of key TB control and occupational lung disease services within the participating countries and strengthening regional capacity to manage the burden of TB and occupational diseases in SADC. The project is currently being implemented in 4 SADC countries: Zambia, Mozambique, Lesotho and Malawi. NEPAD Agency and East Central and Southern Africa Health Community EXA are providing technical support to the project countries. This 2-day RAC meeting, taking place in Malawi's capital Lilongwe, is mainly aimed at reviewing progress on the implementation process of the project. Malawi's Secretary for the Treasury, Mr. Ben Botolo, is guest of honor during the opening ceremony of the meeting. During his opening speech, Mr. Botolo expresses concern that the African continent continues to be one of the regions with highest rates of TB, HIV and a combination of both TB and HIV.
It's quite a challenge because with the epidemic, HIV coming into play as well into the equation, you'll find that the disease goes through a lot of mutations, drug resistance, and that's why the researchers have to keep up with the changing in the behavior of the virus of the bacteria to the drug, which if they become resistant, you have to find another mode or multi-drug into combating this disease, TB. All in all, I would say that we have stabilized a little bit, if you can see it, but definitely there's quite a challenge because some people may have TB, but they don't know that they have got TB, especially in the rural communities.
World Health Organization WHO Africa Advisor on Tuberculosis, Dr. Daniel Kibuga, says the project gives an opportunity to participating countries to achieve the goal of ending TB in the region.
The South African TB and Health Systems Support Project, which is a project of 4 countries, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique and Zambia, who have funding from the World Bank to help intensify efforts of fighting TB in the mines and amongst miners and their communities. It's a special project because we know that there are TB control programs in these countries, but TB in the mines is still a big challenge because of the peculiarities of the working conditions in the mines and the other predisposing factors like the air breathed by miners, which leads to lung problems from silicosis, which predispose them more to tuberculosis, and the fact that the workers in the mines come normally from across borders. There is a lot of movement. A lot of the mines are in Southern Africa, and a lot of the workers are coming from some of these countries and others who are not in this meeting, including Swaziland, Botswana, etc. And the movement of patients when they are on treatment and the duration of treatment for TB, these compound the problems of treatment compliance. And this is why the World Bank has made funding available for a special project to invest in techniques which will improve treatment, diagnosis and cure amongst these communities.
World Bank Task Team Leader Dr. Ronald Mutasa applauds Malawi and the other participating countries for the strong commitment and willingness to tackle the underlying aspects and challenges related to the burden of TB. Dr. Mutasa observes that the fight against TB is a public and economic development priority for the Southern Africa and the rest of the world and needs to be tackled forcibly.
On behalf of the World Bank, I begin by expressing our appreciation to the government of Malawi for hosting this second Regional Advisory Committee meeting. The World Bank recognizes that TB control is a major public health and economic development priorities for Southern Africa and indeed for the rest of the world, and must be tackled forcefully. As spotlighted by recent scientific surveys in Malawi, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, the magnitude of the TB problem is much greater than was previously estimated, and I'm sure the situation is equally similar in Mozambique and Lesotho and several other countries in Southern Africa. Despite the reduction in TB death between 1990 and 2013 across the world, in Southern Africa, unfortunately, TB remains one of the top 5 causes of death. Despite the challenges confronting the TB response, we have entered a new era of possibility as global efforts have picked up pace. 3 years ago, the WHO approved the MTB strategy. A year later, the United Nations adopted the Sustainable Development Targets. And it has been 5 years since SADC, head of states, adopted the SADC Declaration on Tuberculosis. This growing attention to the TB epidemic at global, continental, and regional levels is a chance to re-energize and double down on our efforts to tackle the burden of TB, a disease with no borders, and a disease that disproportionately affects the poorest populations in our country, but which is treatable and preventable.
During the meeting, delegates discussed a number of key issues, which include project startup and implementation, development of TB centers of excellence, harmonized guidelines for cross-border TB management referral systems, engaging partnership and leverage other regional initiatives, and country as well as regional studies. Malawi's Chief Director for Health Services, Dr. Charles Mwansambo, explains some of the key issues and resolutions.
A number of resolutions that have come up. The first is, of course, to recognize the good work that the various countries have done in the progress to get TB out as a public health problem by the year 2030. We've agreed to make sure that a number of agreements are signed between the various governments before a certain date, after which we'll pass it on to the World Bank for approval. Because as you know, this involves a number of countries, and we need to have set agreements, especially for the cross-border referrals, because there are a number of patients that may want to come from, patients that move from Zambia to Malawi on TB treatment. We need to by a certain date, put in place mechanisms to make sure that these people are attended to when they go to the other countries. The other, of course, is the centers of excellence that each country has been tasked to do, and also we have certain dates which countries have to make sure that these are in place so that other countries can learn from them. So it's been a wonderful meeting, and I hope when we go back to our various countries, members will do as we've discussed.
Further, the delegates agree on the need to continue strengthening knowledge sharing not just among the participating countries in the project, but with the rest of the region and beyond. Prior to the launch in Mozambique, the project was adopted by the African Union with an aim of uniting in ending TB by 2030, and the Malawi meeting is held under the theme Unite to End TB in the Mines.